Shepherd's pie meets Indian spice. This Keema shepherd's pie is a bold twist on the classic, swapping traditional mince for fragrant spiced lamb keema, layered with a rich buttery mashed potato topping. If you love a hearty shepherd's pie but fancy changing it up a bit, this one is definitely for you. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. We're going to start by cooking our potatoes, and I've got here 800 grams of floury potatoes. Again, as always, change the quantities depending on your requirement. I'm going to go and stick these on the hob and get them cooking. Whilst our potatoes are simmering away, we can crack on and make our curry mixture. To a pan, just some vegetable oil I'm using here, and then 1 onion diced. Get that in and just give it a stir around. We want to cook this down now for about 8 to 10 minutes. We really want those onions to be nicely softened and almost starting to brown. That's it. And we'll leave that now till we're ready to add in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so that's had 8 minutes. I'm now going in with a mixture of ginger and garlic. So that's 3 cloves of garlic and a 3 centimetre piece of ginger that I've just minced. And just stir that in and let that cook out for 1 more minute. Next, in with our spices. I'm using 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 1 of cumin, and 1 of chilli. Now, that's quite a hot chili powder. If you don't like it as hot, you can either leave it out or go for a slightly milder chili powder. And we want all of that in. Again, just stir it around, and as I always say, just cook this out. These have been sat probably on a supermarket shelf or in your store cupboard for a little while, and they do tend to get moisture in. So you just want to cook it out to release the aromatics. Okay, it smells absolutely divine. I'm going to add a touch of water. Incorporate that. And then a tin of tomatoes. I'm using my normal Muti brand, use whichever you have. Stir it around, and we're now creating our lovely masala. And I'm actually going to put the lid on this and let that cook down for about 5 minutes. That's had its 5 minutes. In with some mushrooms. That's 1 punnet of mushrooms which I've sliced, and we just want to cook these down for about a further 3 to 4 minutes. We'll put the lid back on. Okay, next we're going to go in with our mince, 500 grams of lamb mince. Just get your spoon, and you want to really break this up to make sure that it's not all stuck together when we come to serve it up. I would say, guys, if you don't like the mushrooms, you could replace those. You might fancy carrot in here. By all means, put some carrots in. Whatever veg you like would absolutely work with this. Also like to say I really appreciate you guys watching, really appreciate the support. If you do like the content, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. I'd love to hear from you. It really does help the channel and would really mean a lot. I'm just going to spin this around here just to make sure we're getting it all broken up. I'll probably leave that now for a couple of minutes with the lid on. I'll come back to it and then give it another stir. So that's had 5 minutes now. What I want to do is just test it for seasoning. I did open the pot midway just to stir that lamb around. Delicious. Oh, it's got a nice little kick, but it does need salting. We haven't salted it yet, so it definitely needs some salt in there. Probably go in with a good few pinches. I'm going to add a little bit of cracked black pepper also. And then to that, of course, it wouldn't be a shepherd's pie without the peas. So frozen peas into the pot, stir it through. I'm going to give that another 3 to 4 minutes and then we'll be ready to make up our dish. Potatoes are ready, so let's make some proper mash. And we're going to start by adding in some butter, a good dollop of it. We're going to do this proper old school, so we're going to heat the milk and the butter up. Going with a good bit of milk. If I need to add a bit more, I can. I don't want this too thick, I don't want it too thin, I don't want it to sink into our curry mixture, but similarly, I don't want it to be really, really tough. To that, some salt, just season it up as you would do normally with any mash. I like a bit of white pepper in my mash. If you like black pepper, add that. And then here, I've got a tablespoon of garam masala, and I'm gonna pour that in there as well, give it that nice Indian flavouring. And again, just keep mashing it till it's the consistency that you like. But for me, I'd say that's done. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take that off there, get rid of that. We'll need that in a minute. Get yourself a oven-proof dish. Let's get our curry, and we're going to empty that straight in there. Lovely, still got nice juiciness. The mushrooms have let out some more juice as well, as have the peas. Smells absolutely delightful. And just obviously spread it out, and then our mash. So let's just get rid of our masher, put that in there. And I just tend to sort of put dollops of it. Look at the colour that's gone with that garam masala in it. So I tend to just dollop it around a bit. There's no pretty way of doing this. Just in and around, and then we can smooth it out in a second. And get the rest of that out. Guys, this is the time now to preheat your oven. You need your oven at 180°C, okay? And then just using that spoon, just lightly, don't press too hard, otherwise it's gonna sort of sink down into your keema mix, which we don't want. Again, just spreading it up from that side a little bit. Put a bit too much down this end. Don't worry if you've got some bits. I quite like it if you've got some of that mixture that bubbles over. But I've definitely, that's it. And then if you want to be really fancy, you can do some little patterns if you want. We'll do some swirls. Why not? Might get some nice crispy bits out of that. And there we have it. So, into the oven now, 25 to 30 minutes at that 180°C fan. Once it comes out, we can give it a go and see how we've done. Our keema pie is now out of the oven. Let's dress it up with a bit of coriander and some chilies. So just scatter some around. I know not everyone likes coriander, to be fair. I do, so I tend to put quite a bit of it on there. So I'm just gonna lay it here and there, and then some of those chilies as well, so we know there is a bit of a sting in the tail with this pie. It isn't your standard shepherd's pie. There we go. That looks perfect to me. So let's give it a try. Let's dig in. Nice little spit here. What I like about this, feeling this now, the potato on the top has actually gone a little bit crispy, which is quite nice. It's firmed nicely up. Make sure I get myself a decent portion. There we go. And let's see how it tastes. First thing I will say, the smell is unbelievable. It really is. And let's dig in. Make sure I get a bit of everything. Very hot. There's a lot of steam coming off this. Oh, that's good. That is very, very good. All honesty, it could do with more chili for me, for my taste. But what's nice is it's not overpowering, if that makes sense. It's just a nice play on a standard shepherd's pie, just with those Indian spices. It's absolutely delightful. I'd have that over my standard shepherd's pie any day of the week. Well, I will say the last time I made this, I actually did the mash with sweet potatoes and it was absolutely delicious. Definitely worth trying it if you like sweet potatoes. That sweetness along with the spice works really, really well. Hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. I really do appreciate you tuning in and watching through to the very, very end. As always, I'll put all of the details of today's Keema shepherd's pie down below in the description. And all that's left for me to say is until next time, it's cooking good.